Welcome to the Deep Dive. We're here to cut through the noise, get you those crucial insights. And today, we're diving into something that's really stirring things up. In studios, galleries, everywhere really, what happens to art, to human creativity when AI isn't just a tool, but maybe a co-creator, or dare I say, a rival? So we've pulled together perspectives from cutting-edge research, industry reports, even those really lively online chats you see everywhere. Our mission for you today, pretty simple actually. We want to unpack what AI means for how we define art, how we create, and what makes that human touch truly irreplaceable, if anything, in this age of algorithms. We're going to help you make sense of this really complex, really vital conversation. Okay, so to really get into this, let's start with just pure human connection. Art. Imagine someone seeing Caravaggio's The Calling of St. Matthew in a museum. The light, the drama, the raw humanity. It brings them to tears, and they think, wow, that's what an artist does. It makes us feel something deep. Now, jump to today. We've got AI. It can draw, paint, write poems, compose music, stuff that sounds, well, sometimes indistinguishable from human work. It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? What is art then? Is it the skill, the idea behind it, the feeling it gives you?
That's the million-dollar question, right? And honestly, artists, philosophers, they've been wrestling with this for ages. What's fascinating here is how our understanding of art has always juggled these two very different ideas. It's kind of a balancing act. So on one hand, you've got art as this universal language, connects us all across time, across cultures. Think about Raphael, Rembrandt. They weren't just showing off skill. They were trying to tap into universal truths. Beauty, human nature, things that resonate centuries later. Their work speaks to that shared human experience we all have.
So like a single piece could speak to anyone, anywhere, anytime.
Exactly. That's the idea. But then the other side of the coin, art is incredibly subjective. What moves you might do nothing for me. A painting that makes you feel joy might make me feel, I don't know, kind of sad. It all depends on our individual lives, our culture, our personal context. Our lived experience shapes everything, every memory, every struggle.
So it's not just what the artist intended, but what we bring to the table when we look at it. Okay, so keeping those two ideas in mind, the universal and the personal. If AI can now make images that look like a Rembrandt, but it hasn't lived anything, doesn't have intent in the human sense, does that challenge both definitions?
Oh, it absolutely does.
Yeah.
It forces us right up against the core of what we've always valued. If a machine can mimic the universal style but lacks the genuine subjective feeling, where does the art actually live? It's a really profound shift in how we might have to think about it.
Yeah, that's a heavy thought. Let's hold on to that as we get into what AI can actually, do. Because here's where it gets really interesting. AI's usefulness. It's undeniable now. These aren't just experiments anymore. They're simulating human intelligence, pattern recognition, learning, making creative choices. It's here.
It really is. AI is surprisingly embedded already. Visual art, for example. Remember that French collective, Obvious. Their AI portraits sold for, what, over $400,000 at Christie's? That was way back in 2018. And now, tools like DALL-E, Midjourney, they're spitting out incredible images just from text prompts. Artists use them for brainstorming, for trying out styles they'd never dream of otherwise.
So it's pushing boundaries, not just copying.
Yeah.
Inspiring new stuff.
Precisely. And it's way beyond visual art, too. We saw AI write a script for a sci-fi short back in 2016. A bit clunky, maybe. But then a more collaborative human-AI sequel came later. The BBC used automated journalism for the 2019 UK election, sifting data, writing basic reports, freed up journalists for the deeper stories.
Wow.
Yeah. And music. AI composing like the Beatles. The first whole AI album dropped in 2018. Even architecture. AI helps plan designs, considers aesthetics, rules, even predicts things like solar radiation. It's quite versatile.
That's an incredible spread. It really sounds like a powerhouse tool for getting things done faster, sparking ideas. What are the immediate payoffs people are seeing? Artists, businesses.
Well, the benefits are pretty clear. It's incredibly versatile, lets you experiment really quickly. It saves a ton of time on the tedious stuff, right? So creators can focus on the actual innovation. And yeah, it definitely sparks new ideas, pushes boundaries you might not have hit on your own. Plus, accessibility. It makes sophisticated tools available to almost anyone, which some argue really democratizes the whole creative process.
Yeah, advertises. Yeah, I can see that.
And the efficiency is staggering sometimes. Look at JP Morgan's Koi platform. It cut something like 360,000 hours of contract review work down to seconds.
What? Seconds?
Or in healthcare, AI analyzing medical scans thousands of times faster than a human could. If we connect this to the bigger picture, AI is proving to be an incredible augmentative tool, handling the grunt work, inspiring new paths.
That efficiency, that speed. it's compelling, no doubt. But okay, it does raise those tricky questions again. If AI can do so much so fast,
Yeah.
so what does this all mean for the irreplaceable human element? Where does AI kind of hit a wall?
Right, and that's what the debate really heats up. Many argue quite strongly that AI just can't replicate genuine human creativity because it lacks fundamentally what we call lived experience and intention. And AI doesn't feel joy or pain or struggle. It doesn't have relationships, memories of loss, triumphs. It has no personal story to tell. So much of the meaning we find in art comes from sensing the artist's journey, right? Your unique perspective. AI can sort of imitate empathy. It analyzes data patterns linked to emotions.
Yeah.
But it doesn't feel them. And that authentic felt empathy that's critical and feels like, say, therapy for building actual trust. You can't fake that. So it's the journey, the feeling behind the output, not just the output itself. Okay.
Yeah.
What about the creators trying to use these tools? Are there practical headaches there?
Oh, definitely. A huge one, especially for people creating on big platforms, is the opacity of algorithms. How they work is often a black box. You see creators on YouTube, for instance, developing what they call folk theories. Basically, guesses about how the algorithm works, trying to figure out how to succeed.
Trying to game the system, kind of?
Exactly. And many feel these algorithms just don't respect serious artistic work. They seem to favor stuff that's more, addictive and entertaining, clickbait almost, which leads to real frustration, feeling helpless, like you can't succeed without the support of the algorithm. It's like you're creating for a machine.
Creating for the machine, not the audience. That's bleak.
And then there's this whole debate bubbling up. You see it on places like Reddit. People calling AI art a soulless simulacrum, empty mimicry. Critics saying art lovers can tell right away when something's made by AI versus a human. This raises an important question. Can something truly resonate with you deep down if it doesn't come from genuine human understanding, from actual experience? Think about the stuff you love, the content that really hit you. Was it just technically perfect? Or was it heartfelt, maybe even a little flawed?
That difference between slick and heartfelt.
Yeah.
That hits home. And those creator frustrations you mentioned, that feeling of helplessness, it points straight towards the practical side, the money, the ownership.
Yeah.
When AI gets mixed in, what does this mess mean for who owns the creation? And crucially, who actually gets paid for it?
These are really urgent, really thorny issues for creative industries right now. One immediate thing is the faster and cheaper problem. Let's be honest, businesses often choose AI content because it is faster and cheaper, and that could potentially start replacing more junior roles. Market research analysts, entry-level sales, certain routine legal tasks, jobs where AI can do it quicker, maybe even more accurately sometimes.
Right.
Which leads to what economists call job polarization. The impact isn't even. Some jobs get a boost from AI, others get squeezed out or just devalued. It widens the gap.
So it's not just about losing jobs, but the quality of jobs changing, too, unevenly.
Exactly. And then, oh boy, the legal mess around copyright and ownership, it's huge. You have cases like Greg Rutkowski, the fantasy artist. His very distinctive style was basically fed into AI prompts without his permission. His aesthetic replicated without consent or payment.
Yeah, I heard about that. That's rough.
Or AI music, mimicking Drake, or The Weeknd getting taken down for copyright issues. And complicating it all, a U.S. judge recently denied intellectual property rights for an AI's creation because there was no human authorship.
Oh, no human author.
Right,
Yep.
which leaves this massive legal gray area. If the AI made it, but it's not human authored, who owns it? Does anyone?
Wow. A vacuum.
And this power imbalance plays out in contracts, too, especially in film, TV, music. These buyout contracts are becoming common. Platforms offer a lump sum upfront, but often no royalties if the work takes off. And sometimes they ignore moral rights, the creator's right to protect their work's integrity.
So you get paid once, and that's it, even if it becomes a massive hit.
Pretty much. It creates really precarious situations for creators. They feel pressured to accept bad terms. The EU has tried to tackle this with rules for transparency, rights to revoke deals. But big platforms can often just set up shop outside the EU to avoid them.
Man, those are some serious hurdles. Legally, financially. Feels kind of daunting for human creators.
Yeah.
But looking ahead, is there a way for humans and AI to, work together, to actually thrive? What's the path forward here?
Well, the most optimistic view, and one a lot of people are leaning into, is seeing AI as primarily an augmentative tool. The idea is it will help, not replace. That's the hope, anyway. Human professionals could offload the boring, repetitive stuff, focus on the more creative, strategic, interpersonal parts of their jobs. Like in law, maybe AI handles 70-something% of routine billable tasks soon, freeing up lawyers for complex strategy, client interaction.
Okay, so shifting the human focus to what only humans can do.
Yeah,
Nuanced stuff.
precisely. And that really highlights the growing value of those distinctly human skills, right? Creativity, emotional intelligence, communication, critical thinking, strategic judgment. These are areas where we still outperform machines, especially dealing with ambiguity, context, real empathy. We're also seeing cool new ideas pop up, like vibe creating.
Vibe creating.
Yeah, it's like a low-pressure way to use AI assistance. Takes the stress off, encourages more people to just try creating something. There's a platform called YouMind, aiming to be the pen and paper of the AI age, helping you go from a tiny idea to a finished draft. Even solving problems like searching within videos automatically.
Making creation easier, more accessible.
Exactly. And ultimately, in a world potentially flooded with AI content, authentic human voices, they could become even more valuable. It's about leveraging your unique experiences, your identity, to build trust, create something relatable, define your own voice. There's that old Star Trek analogy, right? The replicator can make anything perfectly. But there's still value in the human touch, the interaction, the shared meal, even the little imperfections.
That's human factor.
Yeah. The vision is maybe creation becomes a more everyday thing for lots more people globally. But the key is pushing for a human-centered approach as these AI tools develop, fostering diversity, motivating actual human creators. Ultimately, this points to a future where the most successful creative work might be the stuff that integrates AI smartly, not just as a tool, but as a catalyst for deeper, more meaningful human expression and connection.
Wow, what a journey today. From questioning the very meaning of art with AI in the mix to seeing how it can boost our potential, but also facing those really critical limits, the ethical tangles, the economic shifts. It's a lot. What seems crystal clear, though, is while AI is definitely reshaping the landscape, that indispensable human element, our experiences, our feelings, our ability to connect, that stays right at the heart of it all. So here's something to think about. As AI keeps making creation easier, faster, how will you use these tools? How will you amplify your own unique voice, your purpose, and make sure that even if everyone can create, your creativity truly stands out and connects in this crowded new world?